Hi Virgo, welcome back to my channel. It is Krista here to do your October 2019 General Tarot Forecast. I hope that you enjoyed your September 2019 reading. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I provide free monthly tarot readings using oracle cards at the end of your spread for additional information. Also, I've begun posting daily free tarot readings on my Instagram, so you can follow me there. That's at RadicalAngel33. And you'll get free daily readings. So what is, Virgo. We'll see if this shows up in your reading today, but this just jumped out, as you know. The Tower card, something unexpected coming in, coming through, making its way. Usually with the Tower, it's unexpected. You didn't see it coming. You can't see it coming. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. It just might mean that something needs revision or revising or will be removed for you to replace it with. We'll see if it shows up in your reading, and it might have just been a message for a specific Virgo watching today or for all of you, and you just needed to hear that. So this is for Virgo Sun, Virgo Moon, and Virgo Rising signs for the month of October. So what does Virgo need to know for October 2019? Messages for Virgo. Messages for Virgo. All right, folks, so we have a 4-card reading for you today. I will be using the bottom of the deck card for general energy for the month. Typically, I'll be pulling a qualifier card for one of the cards in your reading as well. So let's get these laid out, see what's going on here. All right, so some pretty nice, stable, I would even say stable, refined, kind of welcome energy is available to you. And then this really nice, I have to take that, it's underneath. So bottom of the deck energy, we're looking at the 6 of Wands. We're looking at, a small victory here, something that sets you apart, puts you in the spotlight, makes you feel really confident and secure about a situation. And then right underneath it, I had to get it just because it was so pretty, the Ace of Cups. So a new love, new feeling, new opportunity, new revelation, could be a spiritual path, but it is sitting right underneath the 6 of Wands, which we can really narrow down to a victory and then a love. So victory and love, a new love feels victorious, new love for yourself, someone else, a situation, right? As a general matter, you get to decide who that is in relation to, but really gorgeous energy. Even if we were to just say, like, let's not look at these, let's look at these just for bottom of the deck energy. Essentially, for the month, we're looking at really positive outcomes for love, romance, a new opportunity, just a feeling of a full heart as well could feature here, and somebody may put you in the spotlight in a love situation as well. So energy that we're just moving out of or past influence, this is going to be felt up until probably the very end of the first week of October, is the Cold Queen of Swords. So this is also known as the Divorce Queen. If you are in the process of any court process right now, you could just be coming out of that or coming out of, say, the Q&A process, question and answer, if it is a court case that's just begun. Otherwise, this could be a Libra or Libran energy. There could be legal or court matters that you're just coming out of in the earliest part of October, or this could be could be your energy as well. But again, we're dealing with, and I laugh because it doesn't have to be a bad thing, but it sounds terrible, like the Ice Queen. But you know what? She's been there. She's seen it. She's full of wisdom. She has all the answers. This is someone who's probably intellectually forthright, intellectually ahead of the game, probably who has a lot of scars. There's some battle scars on this person as well, but Libran quality. So she's able to balance this against other experiences, right? That weren't so painful or didn't leave scars. But ultimately, you can't give anything past her, and she has an answer for everything. So ultimately, I think it's really nice energy, particularly when you're moving into such warm, generous, fruitful, cozy, relaxing, stable energy here with the present. So this is the question or the challenge. So it could just be that there's some sort of argument around feeling cozy, or any of the terms that I use for the Ten of Pentacles. Really, the Ten of Pentacles is a legacy card. We're dealing with issues of the family. Children, grandparents, and parents. We're dealing with, multi-generational situations here. So there could be someone who is impacting that, who is a little bit cold, something that these are two different worlds, right? As you can see, even in the color combinations, we have, the cold hard facts here, and then we have some sort of warm, generous energy here. So what you're just moving out of or leaving behind here with relation to the current challenge or the present, it could be that we need to leave an over analysis out of a family situation, or if there is an ice queen or a divorce or someone with, sort of colder qualities, someone who's a bit icy, she's not going to maybe feel very comfortable or welcome in a homey, relaxing situation here. Could even be a mother or a grandmother who's really, really cold, in this situation, and she's not welcome here. If that's the case, Virgo, I think it's a matter of just, again, we're going to apply the bottom of the deck energies to this relationship, for example, and suggest, look, just keep your head above water, look, have the big picture, keep a full heart. Remember that success or victory is yours. And, she will have to see her way out. Okay. She'll be invited to leave. She won't be welcome here. She won't have anything to say or do in this situation because it's out of her element. It's too warm and cozy. It's too, cemented and practical. And, full of love, hearth and home, for example. This is brisk, right? There's a briskness here. So, she may not even feel comfortable in this situation anyway. So it's not like you have to do anything. You can just let karma, as it were, play itself out. You can let the chips fall where they may. As long as you feel like you're getting out on top, you are victorious here. Again, I'm not seeing anything that's showing that you're going to be doing anything to make this happen. I think she's just going to see her way out. In terms of energy, however, these are two different worlds. So you may just be coming out of a mentally difficult or challenging situation here. Like I said, that's going to be ending by the first week of October and moving into something that's way more comfortable for you. So I do think that's something here that could be challenging or cold. Something having to do with, particulars, right? Numbers and data, and something that could be considered cold, something on paper. Is going to be left behind, and things will warm up. Things will become more generous here with the future. So this is the outcome or prediction for you. These are messages that you were waiting for, right? These are rushing messages in your favor. So again, this is sitting right atop of the Queen of Swords. So this is something, believe it or not, that she could be providing to you or for you or in your favor. Let's just say this is a court case. She might think she's saying something or doing something to make life harder for you necessarily, but that's not the way it actually pans out. The way it pans out is in your favor, and you get to relax about it because there is a really nice mental rest card here following all of it. So she may be doing more harm to herself, frankly. And if this isn't another person like I said, if this is all about you, You may feel that saying too much or providing more information than is necessary at this time will be doing you a service or a favor, but it really won't. So, maybe wait for messages to come and wait to hear something that suits your particular situation, your mind frame, your intellect, right? You're going to have someone who matches that. Or you're going to be awaiting word or confirmation on something that you already understood to be true, and it will be accurate. You'll find that that's accurate for you. But, ultimately, there's a lot of movement here as well. So there could be a lot of communication with this type of person as well. It looks like they have, the advice here, it looks like they have some information to leave you with. Perhaps you're going to take your time to think about, right? With the Four of Swords, there's just a really nice mental rest. We're asking to take, this is either asking you to, or it's going to suggest that you do, or as an advice, something to do after this in order to, say, put all the information or the new data or the new messages into perspective, right? Or to, say, integrate into your lifestyle or family. You're going to rest on those messages. You're going to take your time with those. There's no rush here, right? So the Four of Swords is really like a mental slowing down. We're going to relax. We're going to take a rest. This is a really nice break. It could even just feel like information overload. And like I keep pointing out here with the underlying energies, both with the Ace of Cups and the Six of Wands, I think you will wind up on top. I don't think there's anything you have to worry about. It may even feel stressful at the beginning, but it really won't be by the end of the month. You can take new data or information and just... you can even sort of decipher it by the end of the month as well. Like what is useful to me and what isn't. You don't have to throw it all out either. You can take what's useful, use it now, put aside what isn't, see if it's useful at another time. But essentially, it's up to you. I don't see you being in a hurry to do this necessarily, and I see you being able to do this fairly easily. This is not going to be a struggle for you. So I'm really happy to see that here as well. I do want some more information about this Four of Swords, however. So what do we want to look at the most? Yeah, I want to look at that as the advice. So the Four of Swords as the advice card. Why is the Four of Swords the advice? What information or messages is Virgo resting on or need to take a break from? Remember ultimately that you are the victor though in this situation. Carry your head high, Virgo, this month especially. Someone might even think, or you might think someone else does, or you might even be hard on yourself. If this is you this month, you may be taking yourself to some sort of task here, and you may be tripping yourself up for some reason. You will find that, that was up right there. You will find that it's probably just an old habit. And you'll get yourself out of it really quickly because you'll find that it doesn't serve you, because this is what's serving your highest good right now, right? A sense of victory and pure love, even a new love for yourself, situation. We have even more swords. This flipped up. A few cards fell out as I was shuffling, as I'm sure you just saw. This flipped over in the deck, so I did take this. We have a lot of air. In fact, we have a lot of mature air. So now we do actually have a judge, or we have a clinician. We have a very cold, accurate, precise, possibly even someone with, it's hard not to say surgical. There could be surgical precision here. Someone who could cut someone to ribbons with their words, with their knowledge, with their information, with their insight, with their intellect. I mean, these are and you're also dealing with an Aquarius and Libra. So you're dealing with a lot of air energy here as well in terms of people. And we are in Libra season. So it could just be a lot of messages, a lot of information, data, sourcing, citations, peer-reviewed studies. I mean, if this were say a scholastic venture for you when you were in school, I would say that this is a lot of information to take in, and you need to take a rest from something that feels overwhelming at this time and take it up with someone who has more information or more complete data, or someone who can walk you through a difficult either informational or intellectual process here. But it's so curious. Wow. Okay. So the 4 here and then this guy here. So it does have to do with something arising from a court situation, or someone who is definitely in charge of, say, legal outcomes. Contracts would be another element to any of the air people. So the knight, the queen, or the king. But the king is someone older than you, someone who is more mature, if they're not necessarily older than you, but someone that you would, someone who's clinical, right? Someone who's very precise and accurate. And these are in opposition to something that's, say, warm, like the pentacles, or sensitive, like water. This is very exacting information. So I would just suggest for you that October could hold a great wealth of information for you, especially sourcing information or communicating information at this time that could have to do with your family, hearth, home, or a legacy. I would look to a stable heart and any small victory this month to carry you through. However, Virgo, if you find it difficult, you do or you can have a penetrating, exacting mind of your own, even though you are an earth sign. You do share the planet Mercury with an air sign, being Gemini, and you might just be applying some more mercurial energy this month, and this could be rather exciting as opposed to daunting for you as well, just because we do have this overarching sort of loving and victorious energy coming out from, glowing from behind all of these really exacting and precise and intellectually, I would say, not only honest. We're dealing with a great deal of honesty here, right? So you're not going to have to, wonder what's going on behind the scenes. These people will just tell you. So that's one good thing. And then you can take the information and do what you need to do with it here. So if you need to rest on information that was just given to you, feel free to do that. If you have been resting on information and you don't know where to go, to, say, sort it out, or to find out what move to make with it, for example, in order to guarantee victory or success, you could go to someone who has a wealth of information in the world of contracts, or data or information. Someone who's very, very smart and mature. It doesn't necessarily mean they're older than you, but just someone who's mature. So yeah, nothing really daunting here, just a great deal of information and a lot of communication here with the 8 of Wands right atop the Queen of Swords. I think another way to frame October for you as well, now that I'm thinking about it out loud, is, you don't get yourself into a position, if you can help it, Virgo, where you're constantly saying sorry either, right? Honesty is really important, and it's really important to say what's on your mind and get your point across, etc., etc. But there is a point, where too much can be said, and then we're just like, oh, I didn't mean to say that, and now I'm sorry. And now we have to talk about why I'm sorry. Now we have to talk about triggers. Now we have to talk about how to prevent that from happening again. And this could just be another normal, natural phase of you to get through this, or a loved one in your life who's doing this with you. Right? So, really, I would try to stay on top of what you're communicating and how you're communicating it. If you feel like you're in a hurry, or if you feel like truth is king and that's more important say, content is more important than, say, context. I would say, at least for the month of October, that may not be true. I'm not saying go out and lie about anything, but I'm saying that content is going to be just as important as context. In other words, the way you say something will be as important as what you're saying. And it may be done in a rushed manner, or something may slip out in a rushed manner here that maybe will take some work or effort, or like it will be a bother to try to get through, or you may not be able to come back from that. So, especially second, third week of October, Virgo, I'm going to suggest, maybe watching your words, watching what you say, lest you not be able to come back from that very easily. Certainly someone in your vicinity may be doing that with you as well. So just watch for that. This is a very curious card, to be honest with you, Virgo, that I do not see very often at all, really, in like personal readings that I do one-on-one with people online, or when I'm doing my readings for my Instagram, even my personal readings for myself. I just doesn't come up very often. So very curious that we're seeing it here, particularly with a lot of information, a lot of players. We don't have any threes, so I'm not going to say there's necessarily a third party situation. I don't think that someone's trying to trick you or lie. We don't have a 7 of Swords. We don't really have, there's no 2 of Cups. There's no even 2 of Swords here. So it's not like a decision between people. There's no 3s. So 10-1, this is going to be about you or a loved one. You get to decide who that is. But someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. Self mask is really, really important. It means that we're not necessarily concealing something we're aware of. It means that a deception or a false self mask can be something that we're unaware that we're doing. So I think that there could be an issue around identity this month and role playing this month for you. I think the communication, particularly having to do with family, legacy, parents, grandparents, children, long-term, home, assets, investments. I think it's really extra important this month for you, Virgo, we can't rule anyone else. We can't even control anyone else. Everyone has a hard enough time controlling themselves, okay? So let's start there. There is no such thing as controlling someone else. There is, however, such a thing as controlling yourself. So I think it might be a nice month for you to come to terms with what you believe this card may mean for you. What does deception, that word, mean to you this month? What does a false self mask mean to you? What does relationship mean to you? Could be strictly about you, yourself, and you, right? Your relationship with yourself. It could be that you are not being completely honest about who you are to yourself or with somebody else. Especially if you feel like this is a new love interest or you're trying to show off or something. Everyone tries to show their best face. That's normal. But remember, if that's the case, the other person's doing it too. You wouldn't be the only one in that first or second date putting on, your best foot forward, but that can be considered deceptive, right? If it's done to trick or conceal. Very interesting energy to have there. I wasn't really expecting that. Someone is wearing a false mask. It's 10-1. It's going to be the viewer, right? It's going to be, what are you saying and thinking and feeling about yourself? And you may be too hard on yourself as well. This doesn't necessarily mean that, yes, you're putting your best foot forward, and yes, you're trying to trick yourself and everyone within earshot that you're someone you're not. It may be the opposite of that. It may be you're trying to trick yourself and everyone in earshot into believing that you're not as wonderful as you really are, or your false self mask is you self-deprecating and you're really more confident and capable and victorious than you say have a self-image of, for example. So I really truly believe that being honest about your self-image, taking a little bit of a mental time out here, not rushing into communication if you can help it at this time, and something having to do with legacy or home issues will play a big part. Keep a clear heart here, though. Keep coming back to the full and clear heart to stay focused and balanced at this time. We do have new life in addition with this new love around the Ace of Cups here. You know, there could be a new opportunity to discover something about yourself. She is sort of coming out of this egg, so something could have been hatched, something could have been broken open. There could very definitively be an aha moment for you, particularly 3rd, 4th week of the month of October. But the aha moment could come at an expense, right? It could come at, you know, there could be something you can't take back, something you can't walk away from, something that's going to impact the long term, and it could be cold and calculating. Again, if this serves you, wonderful. If you don't think it will serve you, go slow. At least by the beginning of the 2nd week of the month, you know, go slow. Celebration is always beautiful to see. No matter where it shows up in the reading, let's be honest. But, you know, these are just additional messages for you with the oracles here. So celebration, I do think that you will have something to celebrate at least by the end of the month. I think it's a new opportunity for you to see something about yourself, within yourself, or about yourself when you're in a specific person's company, right? That you can come to terms with, and instead of finding it daunting or deceptive or something to hide from or not face for whatever reason, you know, there's this, wow, trickster. You know, you can celebrate learning that and then use it to your advantage and then move on from there, right? You don't have to cling to it. But we do have our 2nd deception card here, folks. Really, really surprised to see this. Not only 1, but 2. Yeah, I wasn't expecting, what do I expect? I don't know. I'm just shuffling. But, you know, deception and then trickster. So what are you trying to get away with? There's a lot of information here. There's a lot of conversation. There's at least one pair of people or pair of ideas that are trying to usurp one another or get the one up on one another or try to rule or control somebody else. But it's just so interesting here because we have both deception and trickster. So what is that about? Holy smokes. Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's just more of a caveat at this point, you know, don't waste your time would be another way to read Coyote as well. I mean, there's games and tricks, and it can look exciting, and it can look like you're getting a lot done, and it can look like a lot of information is being shared, but it could be circular, and it could be going nowhere, and it could be information for the sake of having information, and now what do you do with it type thing. So just be wary here with both the deception and the trickster card that you're set free from these elements, right? You want to celebrate a new possibility or a new life here from these trickster and deceptive energies here. Very, very curious. I would say if this is, you know, a worrisome reading for you, or you didn't like it, or you need more information, obviously you can get a personal reading with me. My information is in the description box below. Or you can look at your rising and or moon sign readings for some additional information on how to move forward with this. But really, I would just say, you know, watch communication, especially middle to the end of the month. What you say, how you say it. Try to keep a nice balance or equilibrium, and then take a mental break from something if at all possible here, Virgo. That is your reading. I really, truly enjoy reading for you. I sincerely hope you like your readings as well. You do get a free monthly reading on my YouTube, but on Instagram, I upload daily free tarot readings for everybody. So that's at RadicalAngel33 at Instagram. You can always like and share my videos if you enjoyed this today. Comment below. Let me know how you how this worked out for you. And then, of course, you can subscribe to my channel. That really helps me out as well. Until the next time, Virgo, take excellent care of yourselves. Bye for now.